Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, June 28th. And good news, we have someone on the panel that has a 5 handicap, and I think is going to be the third member of the presidential golf match. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can't wait to see Anthony step in there with his 5 handicap and get it rocking and rolling.
I was just going to say, it looks like one of our members is already practicing for the match.
Yeah, I just stepped off the range, came back over to the deck, so I'm getting ready for our big golf match. I'll tell you this, I could probably give Joe Biden 12 strokes, and he still wouldn't come within 12. So there's 0% chance he's an 8, 0% chance he's a 10. Lucky to be a 30. Lucky to be a 30.
I haven't golfed in probably 5 years, and I think I still got a chance. I don't know. Yeah. But heck, that was pure entertainment last night. Hope everyone tuned in. Sad we only get one more. I hope they add a few to it, but officially election season, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm done commenting on that.
And what's going on?
Not much, man. I was just laughing at this earlier.
What was your favorite line from last night?
My favorite line was, I don't understand what he said at the end of that sentence, but I don't think he does either. So I thought that was classic. Like, Jesus.
I can't wait. I haven't heard. I can't wait to see the numbers have to be huge.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I fortunately was on the range, missed the news this morning.
All right, boys. Well, now that we're into a Friday, we're 6 weeks away from some of these changes kicking in real estate. And as a loan officer myself, I keep hearing, it's very important for real estate agents now to really explain their value and exactly what they're doing for buyers and how they're getting them in the homes. And my theory is, I always take it from the Navy SEALs when I go camping. Okay, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So when you have a team, the best way to show value is to show your whole team. One of the very important members of the team, loan officer. That's us. Where we think us and the agents that work with us are now going to have to put the pedal to the metal and work even closer together. And when you're putting in offers, when you're getting pre-approvals, there has to be more of a relationship going on there because each side needs to know what's going on. Are we putting offers in where the seller's paying this? Are we asking for seller assistance? Is the buyer going to be picking up some costs to make their offer stronger? And if the lender and the agent aren't both on the same page, I think that's going to be a huge problem. But as you're out there, as you're a real estate agent trying to show value, part of that is, hey, I got a great loan officer that can help you with the financing, get you in the mortgage program that you're ready to go, and make sure you get the closing. And I think that's a big part of that initial, value touch of exactly what you do for your buyer.
I couldn't agree more, Ryan. I think that us as loan officers and being within the market as well, not just, a random person online, having a relationship with those agents to then transpire and show that relationship to their clients as well is going to be a huge benefit. And like you said, we're going to have to talk on every deal, every offer, every house. I mean, just because he was getting seller paid closing cost on one doesn't mean it's going to be on the next. So we have to make the buyers feel comfortable, 1, and 2, we have to make sure that they can afford this. So it's going to have to be a big team effort to try to make that happen.
Yeah. And I know Senior up there has been preaching this for a while, how important the relationship of the loan officer and real estate agent. It already is, Anth, but I think it's going to become even more important here in the upcoming weeks that everyone's on the same page. Because, again, the last thing we want is to get 2 days from closing of an unbelievable transaction and something goes haywire because the numbers don't add up.
Yeah, I mean, I think communication is huge. I mean, it's huge today, but I think it's going to be even a bigger, step in the process that has to happen, so that the agent is submitting the offer based on what the buyer can qualify for, and the buyer's fully informed and understands the cost associated and what options they have to be able to submit their offer so that everything stays affordable.
I mean, I think we were talking last night. As an agent, if you believe the buyer is paying some commission for you and you don't see it on the mortgage documents, that is a huge red flag, because there are some lenders that are going to be taking the mentality that real estate commission is not a financeable fee, and that it may not be on any estimate up to closing. Now, if the buyer's paying it, it's going to have to be on the closing disclosure. But that's going to be the point where the lender goes, wait a minute, why is this cash to close X when we thought it was this? And it's because the title company is going to be seeing that commission statement. They're going to be adding those fees, and then we're going to need to verify that those funds are there to close. So
you could not qualify just quite possibly off that. I mean, yes, the buyer might have 9,000 additional funds to pay the agent in their account, but sometimes we need 3 months reserves. Sometimes we need 6 months reserves, and those funds are in there for a reason, not to be used to pay the commission. We need to know that in the beginning.
And Anthony has stated that a buyer is going to see their numbers multiple times from the lender through the process if you have a good lender. If they're looking at a number that doesn't include commission, and then the buyer knows they're supposed to pay it, but they're not seeing it on the estimate, they think it's all part of the whole spiel, and then we get to closing and it's not. That's no good. Buyers are going to need to see accurate numbers, and we don't know what outside lenders are going to do, but all we know is we want to work the best we can with our real estate partners to make sure if anything changes for the buyer, if it goes house to house, where at one property they weren't paying any commission, now they might be paying a portion of it, that they fully know what those numbers are. Because again, I could see a buyer backing out of a transaction too, like, oh, I didn't realize it was this high. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want to do that. We don't want any last minute surprises. That would be awful for anyone throughout the transaction.
And what does any buyer remember? The last thing that happened to them in that transaction. So if you bust them with an extra $10,000, $5,000, even $2,000 at the end, they're not going to be happy. So
right.
We have to be transparent and have to tell them these things up front.
Right. And again, even if it was agreed upon, the only numbers they're really seeing is from the loan officer. So if we're not on the same page, they're just going to be seeing inaccurate numbers. And I mean, we as loan officers talk about figures a lot with buyers. And anytime anything changes, because we're adding inspections or because property taxes came in higher than expected, it is rarely a good thing. Buyers see numbers. They want them to be as accurate as possible at the beginning. And if they go up, you're purchasing a house with expectations of what the payment's going to be and what the cash to close is going to be. Just put yourself in that buyer's situation where if you think your payment's going to be X and then it goes up right before closing, or you think you're bringing this much money to cash to close, you're going to save this for the moving truck, you're going to buy the new couch, and then everything gets upended, I think everyone would have the right to be upset at that.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite frank, I'd be upset about that, and I even knew it was coming. So
right.
We have to be transparent, and I think transparency as well as communication are going to be the keys to success here moving Q4 this year and in the future from there.
I would agree. Even at pre-approval, right? Like if a buyer and agent have had a conversation, that conversation needs to be relayed to the loan officer so the numbers are right from the beginning. That way everyone's on the same page and we can get those offers accepted right away.
Yeah, we might just need to slow down a little bit, make sure we're on the same page. We don't need to jam everything in right away. So listing agents as well, just be aware that buyers are figuring out how to get their best offer in right now. So putting a highest and best 2 hours after somebody sees it may put you at the disadvantage even as a listing agent, because you might not see that offer. So it's very important.
Especially if these forms are going to change. Everyone's going to be seeing new contracts and new forms and getting used to them. So, yeah, it definitely could be a little bit of an adjustment period. What do you think, Ann?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when they put the offer in, like we were just talking about, like, working with your loan officer and your team, to strategize what that offer is going to be, because if the buyer has to pay commission with the offer, it's going to go, it's going to be the same when it comes to the seller. They're still going to be looking at their highest net, whatever deal they're going to net the most on. Commission's going to be part of that. So if somebody's coming in with 3.5%, commission with their offer, and then somebody else is coming in with 2.5% commission with their offer, the seller's netting more with the 2.5%. So I think strategizing with the loan officer on financing options is going to be key, to help submit the best offer that you can.
I think that's great advice.
You guys hear these guys smacking these balls over here?
No, I thought you were going to show us like a cool animal. Like we were going to get Tom Burko Nature Channel for a second.
No, Tiger Woods is teeing off with Bieber on number 1 behind me.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Go follow him around.
Maybe I will, like the gallery.
All right, guys. Well, hey, Tom's going to start a segment next week, and it's going to be called Silly Questions in Real Estate. So if you've ever had a silly question asked to you, send them in to Tom. He's going to go over them next week, and we're gonna chuckle at some of the funny questions.
Text me, email me, send me your questions. We're gonna get them all answered. Might not be able to do them all in one episode, but we're gonna get them all done, and it's gonna be a perfect little segment to help you guys out for sure. Also, while I'm down here, some of you may know. Let me know if you want anything from Tanger 1 or Tanger 2. I'm here.
I don't know what that means, but enjoy your vacation, Tom. And talk to you later.